Hello, everyone. Good evening. Festive vibes in the air. But for us, am I audible and visible? Any lag? Tech team, please give a heads up. Okay. So we are finally, I think, all well with the tech. So good evening, everyone. Festive vibes in the air. Just about a week to go for Diwali. We all are generally in a very festive mood around Diwali. We don't feel like studying. We want to celebrate the way everyone around us is celebrating. We want to enjoy the same parties. We want to play cards. We want a pie of the party. Why should we be studying at home, bothering for an exam which is 3 months down the line? Isn't it? Is that the feeling that you all get around Diwali? Is that a feeling that you get? Yes, we have faced this in school. Whenever there are festivals, we've been studying, but at that time we were all studying in the school. Now we see people around us just working, maybe enjoying their salaries, their job, and we are studying. But I'll tell you, all this is for the greater good. All this is for the greater good. You will right now feel a little anxious while you are studying, but as you clear this exam, you move on to the next step of your journey. You will look back at this time, feel proud of yourself that you went through it, you studied, and you came out shining brighter on the other side. That's when your journey of working, of being an intern, of actually feeling a doctor will start. So, all this hard work, all these parties missed, all these festivals missed, all the birthday parties missed, will finally yield benefit when you clear this exam. So, this is a very, very important exam. It will finally give you the feel of being the doctor that you started on this journey many years back. Now, I always tell all the students this exam is a step in that path. Don't see it as an obstacle. Don't see it as a problem. See it as a part of your journey, because when you see it as a part of your journey, you are happier, you are more positive, you are more motivated, and you study better. So, not completed first reading, they will plan revision, how to deal with MCQs. We'll deal all the questions. We'll deal with all the questions that you have. Bring them on, put them on the chat. I will cater to all of them. First of all, 90 days to go for the exam. What to do in these 90 days? Well, we do have a few more days than 90. So we have a cheat 5-6 days left, but we'll think as if we have just about 90 days left. So, first of all, at this moment, be very honest to yourself, sit in a quiet corner, and assess where you stand. Whether you were giving the exam for the first time, or you're repeating, this is your second attempt, or your fifth attempt, or your 10th attempt. Just assess. This is a very important point in your journey. 90 days remaining, 3 months remaining to the exam. This is a very, very important point. So, at this point, it is very important to first of all look into the mirror, tell yourself what your strength is, what your weakness is, what you have studied, what you have not studied. Now, are you amongst those who are already preparing, or amongst those who are preparing but they are slow, they are not motivated, they are lazy, they are thinking we'll study a bit for this attempt, then we'll study for the next attempt? Are you amongst those, or you are amongst those who have not started yet? So where do you stand? That is the most important point. Preparing well, preparing but slow, not started. Because for all of you, the journey now in the next 3 months is going to be different. So this is the point where you decide that. Now, 90 days to go, the countdown is clicking. Every day that goes is a day gone from your preparation. It takes you towards the exam, and that's a day less to study. So 90 days, from now on are going to be the most important 90 days of your life. Study so much in these 90 days that you don't have to study even one more day once your result comes. That is how you have to chokify yourself. You have to burn yourself, this is that rite of passage, walking through fire. You have to walk through fire in these 90 days, and I promise you, if you do that, if you do your best, there will be nothing that can stop you from clearing this exam. So these 90 days are the most important. Now, whether in whatever state of preparation you are, you have to deal with these 90 days in two phases. The first phase, which is the next 2 months, is going to be your major preparation. Whatever you are studying, you will continue studying with it. Whatever remains, you will finish it. If you are starting anew, you will study everything that you have in these next 2 days, next 2 months. So this is the part where your major preparation will either continue from the previous 3 months or it will start, but it has to happen. You have to build concepts. There is no short, cut through the exam anymore. Look at the exam over the last 2 years, 3 years, core concepts they are testing. So when you read, do not be superficial. Please remember, do not be superficial. That's very, very important. Read thoroughly, build your concepts, give GTs as many as you can. Please see, the GTs are starting in the phase 1 here. I'm also writing GTs in the phase 2. Yes, of course, you will give a lot of GTs in the last 1 month, but you will begin with those even now. Do not waste your time. Do not wait for the last 1 month to give your GTs. So this is your phase 1. In your second phase, when you have finally finished your major preparation, you have seen all the subjects once. Now you come to that point where you revise. You do the recalls and you do the GTs along with it. So break it down into two phases. Take it phase wise. That makes it easier for you. That lets you stick to your schedule and you don't become very overwhelmed. Final goal, finish all the 19 subjects, master the recall questions and the previously asked questions and the previous year topics. You strengthen your integration, because when you're doing all the subjects together, you integrate all of them in your mind when you are studying in the MCQs, when you are doing it. So now the integrated questions are the key. That is your purpose as you study. So final goal remains clearing the exam, but for that you have to finish everything in time. Okay, you have to finish everything in time. That is the crux of the preparation. Now, in the phase 1, as I told you, assess your preparation status, and that is what defines your strategy. That is what decides your strategy. I am not here to give you a strategy which you will follow blindly. No, every one of you, every student out there is different. They are on a different preparation status. So you all have to listen to it, but you have to make your own strategy. So assess your preparation status. If you are attending some classes, then a lot of your schedule will depend upon the class schedule, when you are finishing the subjects, how you're giving the test along with it. So you will follow it along with those classes. For those who are self-studying, which would mostly be people who might be giving the exam second or third time, here also you have to know how much you have finished, how much remains. And those who are just starting, we'll come to that towards the end. You also have to decide your strategy right away. Every day is precious. Now, once you assess, the most important part is outline what is remaining. See, what you have studied. But what is the problem? The problem is what remains. So you should know what remains and how much time you will need to cover it. Make a schedule according to that. Manage your time. Most important, how much to study, how much to sleep, how much time to be spent on a break, how much time to be spent on eating food, how much time to be spent on routine chores of the day. Everything has to be decided from now, because every minute, every hour, every day counts, and it is actually this time management which decides your make or break. I am telling you, this decides your make or break. Know your strengths, know your weaknesses. Your strengths are your ability to remember after you have read, your ability to understand, form concepts, your ability to manage time, to take out time, to revise, to do MCQs. That is also your strength. There are some children who may be reading, they're reading through the day, through the day, through the day, but they just keep reading. They don't take out time to do MCQs. They don't take out time to do the recalls. So even if you're reading throughout the day, is that a good day? No. So you have to know your strengths, your abilities, and your weaknesses. That is the most important point. Now, how do you spend these 60 days? You have to study at least, I would say, at least 10 to 12 hours a day. That is the bare minimum. And when I say 10 to 12 hours a day, I don't mean just skimming through the pages, just doing a superficial reading. आज पढ़ने का मन नहीं कर रहा, आज बस ऊपर ऊपर से नोट्स देख लेते हैं, छोड़ो. Nahi, I am not talking about that. Studying 10-12 hours means studying 10-12 hours. Out of the 24 hours in a day, you sleep, you eat, you take out time for your breaks and your chores, and only half of the day you have to study. When I was a child, I used to hear to Shah Rukh Khan interviews. Shah Rukh Khan used to say, I wish I had more time in a day. I wish it was not a 24-hour day. I wish it was 27 hours, 30 hours day. When I was a child, I was a student, I used to wonder, why does he say that? Why do we need more time in our life? We have enough time, we are chilling. But when you are preparing for exams like this, you actually need more time. You need to squeeze out time from every possible thing. So that is what is taking out 10, 12 hours. And it has to be your most focused time in the day, which you have to study. You have to prepare holistically. I will just read, I will just go through some random revision videos, I will do some MCQs. My job is done. No. When you pick up a subject, see, when you pick up a subject, it is very important to understand the core concepts. Whether you are watching regular videos, whether you are attending a regular classroom, whether you are watching rapid revision videos, it doesn't matter. You have to try to understand the concepts. Don't see it upar upar se. We watch one movie, we'll remember that movie for a very long time. We watch one cricket match, we'll remember all the shots and the balls of that match when we discuss with our friends. But when you watch a video, I'll ask you the next day what was there in that video. If you're watching it superficially, you'll not remember. That is the human mind. You have to be thoroughly immersed. You have to be in there, giving your 100% in those hours that you are doing that study. So that is the holistic studying, that is forming the core concepts. Because unless you are totally immersed, your mind will not think, your mind will not question, you will not form the concepts. Read your notes, do the PYQs, do the MCQs. Now, everything that I always tell the students, when you are studying, your purpose is to read, you understand, you do the MCQs at that point. But your purpose is also to make material which is going to be your revision material when you open it in the last 1 month and the last 1 week. So I feel when you are studying, you are actually preparing material for revision. Because when you are reading the notes right now, when you are watching the videos, you are attending the classroom, are you going to go and revisit that in the last 1 month? You will not have so much time. So when you are studying, mark your notes properly, highlight the important points, highlight the concepts, highlight the things that you will want to get back in the last 1 month. When you are doing PYQs, you are doing MCQs, mark the questions that you will want to come back to. Then when you're reading explanations, there are some points which may be extra, some questions which may be outside your notes. Please write them here, because you want to make one condensed copy which you will revise in the end. At the end, I should not have to go through everything. I should not have to go through all the explanations of the MCQs that I have done. No, that is not the purpose. So when you are studying, every explanation that you read, there is some extra point, write it in your notes at that point. some friend asks you a question which you have not read, which is not covered in your notes, which is not covered in your class, write it then and there. And out of that also, when you are revising, there is something that you don't remember, make a choti copy, either write it in a choti copy or put it on sticky notes, paste it in front of your table. But anything that you find very difficult, anything that you are not able to understand at that point, it should be highlighted for you, because that should not be your sore point. एग्जाम देते देते ये नहीं सोचना चाहिए, अरे यार काश मैंने वो पहले पढ़ लिया होता, I wish I had studied that. That was one point I didn't understand at that time also, and this has come in the question. This happens many a times. So that should not happen. You should read what you are reading thoroughly. Even if you are reading 80% of the subject, you are not able to finish 100% of it. But जो 80% पढ़ रहे हो, उसको ढंग से पढ़ो. That should be proper, because if questions are asked from that 80%, that should not go wrong. Always make it a point to revise previous day's topic, previously completed subjects in your current day also. That is important. There is a law that says if you revise what you have read every seventh day, you retain it better. So revision is the key. That should be a part of your preparation. ऐसा नहीं करना कि 2 months you study everything and suddenly in the 1 month you are revising. Don't do that. When you are studying, maybe you finished forensic medicine 1 week back, you have a little time today, 10 days, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, you want to take a break, just go through a few pages, just revise it, settles better in your mind. Your mind retains it better. Retention is important. Studying is important, yes. But what is the point of that studying if you don't remember in the exam? What is the point of reading everything, doing every MCQ if you don't remember and you are not able to mark it in the exam? For that, revision is very important. So putting revision into your schedule should be there, especially of what you have finished 1 week back. Then you have to give 1 GT every 10 days. Yes, I am talking about today. If you have not given a GT in the last 10 days, you should be giving a GT in the next few days. Studying one subject and doing MCQs of that one subject is easier. Studying 2 subjects, maybe doing their MCQs together is easier. But what is the exam actually testing? Exam is not testing 1 or 2 subjects. Exam is testing all 19 subjects at the same point. It is a difficult time when you are supposed to remember all 19 subjects together. That is what the exam is testing. What gives you the practice? Practice is given by GTs. So even though I finished only 5 subjects, I should still be giving a GT. It should be like that for you. Don't think that you will give it only after you finish all the subjects. That is something you should not be doing. You should be very particular about giving 1 GT every 10 days. That should be there. So this is broadly how you are going to spend your next 60 days. Studying 10 to 12 hours a day, whatever you are studying, it has to be very thorough. Time hai, abhi time gaya nahi hai. So don't be in a rush to finish. Whatever you are reading, read it thorough. Do the MCQs along with it. Finish one subject. Pura. Don't leave things. Ab iske baad time nahi milega. After this, you will not get time to study again. What you are studying now, you will study it now. Maybe not revise it. Isn't it? So you may or may not even be able to revise what you are studying now. So when you are studying it now, it should be in such a way that it stays in your mind. It should not be a superficial reading. Revision should be a key, especially revision of previously completed subjects. GTs you should give. In your daily schedule, always break your day into parts. Your 2 hours in the morning before taking a break, then 2 hours before lunch, 2 hours after lunch. It should be broken into parts. Don't see one day as a whole. Put short-term goals for the day and put an entire goal for the full day also. So short-term karke karo na, you trick your mind. Your mind will get a little anxious when it sees that there is so much to be covered in the day today. But it will be easy if you tell your mind that in these next 2 hours, I have to study this much. Then in the next 2 hours, I have to study this much. So if you tell yourself, आज मुझे पूरा ये खत्म करना है, today I have to finish this the entire thing, it will be difficult. It will be a slow start. It will be an anxious start. But if you break it into parts, you trick your mind, you make it easier for you, and you're able to take out more time from those 2 hours. You know, when you have 10 to 12 hours of studying, you think, okay, ye abhi first 2 hours nahi pada, I'll finish it in the remaining time. Then you don't study in the next 2 hours, 4 hours already gone. You tell yourself, I'll finish it in the remaining 8 hours. So that becomes a problem. If you say, I have to finish in 2 hours, you finish in 2 hours. Those 2 hours are your time for that particular schedule. So do this very properly, break it into parts, and try to have 2 subjects that you are studying in a day. You know, sometimes studying one subject becomes monotonous. It becomes taxing on the brain. You become bored. You don't feel like studying. Then it just feels that you are flipping through pages and nothing really goes into your mind when you spend 10, 12 hours on one subject. It does get taxing. So if you actually have 2 subjects in a day, that will make it easier to be focused, that will keep you interested, it will keep you engaged, make it maybe more interesting and less boring, isn't it? So keep 2 subjects in a day. When you're reading those 2 subjects, around 60% of your time should be spent on theory, should be spent on reading notes, building your concepts, retaining the facts as well. So 60% of your time should go into theory. ऐसा नहीं करना है कि subject उठाया, only do the MCQs and move forward. No, that should not happen. Read the theory, whatever you understand, whatever you can manage. You can watch the regular videos or the revision videos on a 1.5x or 2x. You know what you don't understand, maybe go to the regular videos, look for that part, watch it on 2x, maybe you understand that concept. That is better than leaving it altogether. That is better than not studying it. So please give a good amount of time to reading the theory. Next 30 to 40% of your time should go into MCQs. No subject should be over without doing MCQs, not even in this time. Don't think this 2 months I'll do theory, in the last 1 month I'll do only MCQs. No, I am telling you many a times what you are studying now on 11th October today, you may not be able to revise it before your exam. So whatever you are studying today, whatever you are doing today, do it properly. Whatever subject you are studying, MCQs, do it along with PYQs, do it along with, finish it forever. खुदा ना खास्ता नहीं पढ़ पाए, बीमार हो गए, कुछ हो गया, कम से कम पढ़ा तो हुआ है, कम से कम आपने रीड किया हुआ है, 1-2 दिन बाद में किसी चीज पे वेस्ट हो गए तो ये वाला सब्जेक्ट नहीं रिवाइज कर पाए, आपको पता तो है इसमें क्या है. सो दिस शुड बी वेरी क्लियर इन योर mind that once you are doing a subject, you are finishing it thoroughly. And as I suggested, previously completed subjects should be a key. Whatever you are doing, you have to revise it after 7 days. So suppose you have studied dermatology on 10th and 11th October. On 18th October, whatever subject you are studying, take out 10 to 20 minutes, flip through the pages, do some MCQs, revise it. Your mind will retain it better. If you are studying something on 12th and 13th October, you revise it similarly on 20th and 21st October. That if you do, you will be doing yourself a very, very, very important. See, I have just got a message that one student says there has been an untoward incident in the family which makes you lose your speed, lose your consistency. That can happen. We all are human. We can fall ill. Someone in your family can fall ill. Some mishap can happen. You know, that can happen. We have to keep room for that. We have to keep a buffer for that. It's very difficult to get out of it. But I can't say that you have to overcome your emotions and you have to, forget everything and start studying again. It gets difficult. You are a human after all. You will feel the grief, but please take a few days to yourself. Don't think that you're feeling sad today, you'll try to study. No, give yourself 2, 3 days, maybe 4 days. Don't try to study in those 3, 4 days. but the fifth day onwards, get back to studying and regain your consistency. Don't mix studying in those first few days. No. But after that, get back to it. That should be the key. So this has to be your daily schedule. Very, very, very important to follow it. Now, how do you plan your subjects? That's a very, important point. We have in total 19 subjects. There is no negative marking. So one thing is for sure, no subjects should be left. No subjects should be left. Something somewhere you should have read, which will allow you to make an informed guess in the exam, which will allow you to maybe integrate some part from it and solve the question. Since there is no negative marking, you have to make guesses. Guesses are better when they are informed guess. Somewhere in some corner of your mind, if you leave, those subjects, they will help you. So please remember, no subjects should be left. But on the same hand, doing 19 subjects is also difficult. So I'll tell you, break your subjects into 12 plus 5 plus 2. What is 12 plus 5 plus 2? 12 subjects are must know. They should be fully read, fully completed. Oh, I'm making the spelling error that maybe a nursery student does. Fully read, fully completed, and you should be very, very confident in these 12 subjects. That is important. And what should it include? It should first of all include the big four. What are the big four? Obs Gynae has to be here, medicine has to be here, surgery has to be here, PSM or community medicine has to be here. So these are the most important four subjects, around 25 to 30 questions from all. So in total, you have 100 questions at least coming from these four subjects. Now, what forms the basis of your medicine? Path, pharma, micro, and a some bit of radio. So can you study medicine without doing these four subjects? No. So four subjects ये हो गए, four subjects ये हो गए, 8 subjects must know आए गए. So these 8 subjects you should know. Other than that, choose some easier subjects. Derma, I would say, ophtha, ENT, so like this, form a few subjects which you must know subjects. You should be thorough with them. You should be able to mark most of the questions correct when it comes to these 12 subjects. Now, 5 subjects should be such where you may not read it thoroughly. Maybe you do the rapid revision videos. Maybe you do the PYQs, you do the MCQs, and you know something about these 5 subjects. So that should be there. Whatever 5 subjects are remaining from the list of 12, for those, you should know something about every topic in there, even if you are not thorough, even if you are not confident, don't leave it. Maybe 2 subjects which you are scared of, which you have never read, which you don't want to read. Everyone has those subjects which you don't want to read. I had mine when I was preparing for my exams. Most of the students had, they're like, come what may, ye hum nahi padenge. Hote hain ऐसे? Do all of you have those kind of subjects? Come what way hum nahi padenge? Does that happen with you? होते हैं, कुछ कुछ होते हैं. सो वो 1-2 सब्जेक्ट, 1 or 2 सब्जेक्ट्स जो नहीं पढ़ेंगे, कोई नहीं, उनमें हम क्या करेंगे, उनमें we will do only the PYQs. Anatomy was one such subject for me also when I was preparing for my NEET PG. I just couldn't understand anatomy at that time. Although I almost had a distinction when I was in first year, but you forget by the time you come to your internship and after that. So I didn't want to read anatomy. So what did I do? I only did the PYQs. Yes, at my time also I did only the PYQs. And in my exam, anatomy was so difficult, nobody could answer. Even those who had spent 1 month studying it could not answer. So thankfully, it was nice that I didn't spend 1 month studying it. Anyway, so You will have one or two subjects which will be so difficult, which will be so scary that you don't want to read, but make sure that you do only the PYQs in those subjects. Don't leave it, to zero. Some PYQs, some important topic comes, at least you will not be zero. You will get one or two questions correct in those subjects that you should be planning. Now we come to phase two. In the phase two, dominance is going to be of revision and practice. So studying and notes and concepts, everything is already done. Now focus on revision, focus on practice. That is most important. Studying increases, you go to 12 to 14 hours a day, you practice more of questions. So you rapidly flip through your notes, you revise, you do more of MCQs now. You focus on recall questions, because recall questions, recall topics are a very important part of FMG preparation. Last 5 years, you get 10 papers. 10 papers means 3,000 questions. Legitimate 3,000 MCQs you have to revise in these last 30 days. There is no doubt in that. Even if you have done before, even if you have studied before, you have to study these 3,000 questions in the last 1 month. I would say also make it a point to do the last 5 years NEET PG papers. Very important. In the recent FMG July 25 exam, Jan 25 exam, July 24 exam, there are questions which are coming from the NEET PG. There are questions which are coming from the INICT. Examiner to same hai. It is the same person who is making questions from NEET PG, maybe sending questions for INI, and he's the same person who's sending the questions for FMG also. That panel consists of emeritus professors, very highly respected professors in their fields. So these are the same people who are making questions for all these exams. So if you have an option to get into the mind of the examiner, to see what they are thinking, what topic they consider important, you have that opportunity by looking at the NEET PG PYQs and maybe the INICT PYQs. Why not do it? You do random questions on the apps, you do random MCQs on social media, but will you not do the MCQs that have already been asked in an exam? You will do it. So please make sure you do the FMG PYQs, you read the whole thing about the topic PYT, you do the NEET PG PYQs. You may or may not read the explanations. That is up to you. And if you do have the time, just glance through the INICT questions. Don't at all go into the explanations. Just look at the question and the correct answer. Somewhere it may make a difference. Somewhere it does make a difference, I would say. Direct picked up questions from the NEET PG papers in the FMG exams. This time they was like direct repeats of NEET PG 21, 22, and I'm talking about dermatology. NEET PG 24. I am not talking about other subjects. This is the same in every subject. So please do that. Then go through your choti copy, the copy that you made with all the important points, the difficult points, do the mocks, do the GTs. This should be your crux in the last 1 month. But I would say it's more of a game of confidence. If you've spent the next 2 months nicely, you will spend the last month nicely also. But if you lag behind in these next 2 months, your confidence will go down. You will not be able to work properly. The overall mood board becomes a little slumpy and a little negative. So in order to keep your confidence on a daily basis, weekly basis, monthly basis, try to stick to your schedules as much as you can, because when you are sticking to it, your mind is positive, it is motivated. But when you lag behind, it becomes an issue. GTs, as I said, every 10 days in the first phase. So next 2 months, you're going to give it every 10 days. In the last month, 1 month, you'll be giving it every 5 days. But with GTs, you don't just have to focus on giving GTs. It is not like GT de diya, kaam ho gaya. No, when you're giving a GT, very important to focus on timing. Try to finish in lesser time than what is allotted. Because if you're taking lesser time here, that will be important in the exam. But if you're lagging behind in the GTs only, then you will be more scared when you go to the exam. So make sure that you are finishing it before time in the GTs. then your marking has to be proper. Don't go back, don't tag the questions for review, don't always keep changing your options. You should from now know how to follow your instinct, and it is to form this instinct that you have the GTs. I always tell the students, Virat Kohli is such a big cricketer. Does he need to practice before every match? No. But still, he'll play Ranji, he'll play all the practice matches. He's now retired though, but he'll play all the practice matches and then he'll go for the match, which is the actual day. For you, that practice is GTs. For you, that practice is your daily MCQ. So when they have to practice, you also have to practice. No one is perfect. And I'll tell you, how much soever good you play in the Ranjis and the league matches and the semi-final, if you don't perform in the final, everything is discredited. So keep working hard so that you are able to perform the best in the final. इससे डरना नहीं है, इससे motivated होना है. Analyze your errors in the GTs, revise the weak topics. That is the purpose of every test. It is not to give you marks, it is not to give you an all India ranking. No, that is not the purpose of GTs. Purpose of GTs is to identify your weak areas, help you do that, and to make your practice a little more directed, to make your GTs and your mock test more directed, we have this plan at DocTutorials, which is the revision booster plan for the FMG January 26. As you see, we have the critical points recap here. What is critical points recap? We'll be doing sessions, revising all the subjects, the important points within a limited amount of time, within actually a very less time. Like dermatology, I would teach in 2 days, but in the critical points recap, I'll be revising dermatology in 3 hours. So similarly, for all the short subjects and the major subjects, we'll be doing a quick, rapid revision. You'll be getting workbooks. So it is very easy to make notes, to revise along with us. Especially with this, you get a schedule. For those who have to make a schedule, if you follow along with it, you finish well within time. You get access to the rapid revision videos, which are the QRP videos. You get access to the QRP QBank, which is a set of most important, most high yield questions, which closely simulate the questions that you get in the exam. And so do our GTs. If you listen to the interviews that are given by people, students who have cleared the exams, who've got good marks, 200 plus marks, you will say that GTs at DocTutorials give you questions which are very similar to the exam. Purpose of GT is not to give you difficult questions, not to scare you. Purpose of GT is to give you exam practice. And that is what we at DocTutorials try to do for you. Give you GTs which are very similar to the exam, because purpose to ek hi hai na, exam clear karna hai. Purpose is not to give you a scary GT. Purpose is to give you exam related GTs. Then we'll also have most important question discussions. So 20 most important questions in the shorter subjects, maybe more in the bigger subjects, that you will get. So you do get access to the QRP videos and the QRP QBank. Along with that, the MIQs as well. So for all of those who want to align your preparation, direct your preparation, schedule your preparation, this is a very good plan for it. So what is the success formula that we've studied? Stick to single source notes. Don't try to study from multiple sources. Study from one source and condense it. Active recall over reading. Don't just flip through pages. Actively, you should be reading. At least 100 to 150 MCQs a day. No day should pass where you do less than 100 MCQs. You are sleepy, you are sad, you are bored, you don't want to study, I don't care. MCQ karne hai to karne hai. No day you should be sleeping without finishing at least 100 MCQs. On good days, 150 MCQs. Review your GTs thoroughly. GT देके बंद नहीं करना है, आपने उसको review करना है. Weak points को read करना है. And you should be revising your syllabus at least twice. That is the key. So in the next 2 months, one read, in the last 1 month, one revision, and maybe in the last 1 week before the exam, a third revision of the most important points. If you can do that, nothing can stop you from clearing the exam. Now, we have seen what all you have to do, but we should also know what can make us anxious. It is not just for you, it's for a lot of students out there. Lagging behind schedule can make you anxious. Yes. So in your schedule, keep buffer days. Very, very important. Keep buffer days. so that some subject remains, you can finish it in those buffer days. And don't bother about the schedule. If you're able to finish 80% of the subject, you don't have to worry. You are good. Move on to the next subject. Stick to your schedule. Lagging behind, I'm telling you, reduces your confidence. It sets the tone for a negative start to the day, negative start to the week. That should not happen. Yes, you all can feel lost. You say, Madam, हमने आज जो पढ़ लिया, today is October 11, but I don't remember what I read on August 11. I don't remember what I read even 1 week back. What do I do? What's the point of studying if I don't remember? It's all a khichdi in my mind. It's all a chaos in my mind. Yes, that happens. But don't worry. If you've read, it is somewhere in your mind. You revise, it gets cemented. And in your exam, everything comes back if you have read properly. But if you read superficially, in your exam also, it will be raita. So please make it a point. I'm insisting, read nicely so that what you read is retained. Self doubt mujhse nahi hoga. I can't do it. I'm not able to do it. I don't want to do it. I am not worthy of it. That will happen. There will be days you'll not like it. There'll be days you'll have a doubt on your ability to do it. But remember, if you've come this far, it's a matter of few more months. Just go through those months with as much power and will that you have in your, body, in your mind. And I promise you, you'll be there. Don't let others pull you down, especially some friends or maybe someone around you who is saying, okay, you can't do it, this is your first attempt, second attempt, they'll try to pull you down. No, cut yourself from those people. You don't want negativity around you. They are not required at this point. You only need positivity. Surround yourself with positive people, surround yourself with those who believe in you, and you have to believe in yourself. What not to do? टाइम ढंग से मैनेज नहीं किया, फ्री डेज ले लिए, ब्रेक डेज ले लिए. No. One reel you start on Instagram, you keep watching reels for the next 1 hour. No. No social media, no time waste, no breaks. You don't need breaks. 90 days reading, 90 days reading. Don't just be theory focused. Please practice MCQs. Lack of MCQ practice is the most important problem. When you talk to your seniors, you talk to your friends who could not clear, they'll tell you one thing: यार पढ़ तो लिया, MCQ नहीं करे. वो गलती आपने नहीं करनी है. That is very important. Not giving enough GTs, getting demotivated by your GTs, वो भी नहीं करना है. Give enough, not more, not less. Review your GTs. Don't be demotivated by this course, and don't be in a constant self-doubt. That should not happen. For those who are starting now, I would again say, take help of the revision booster exam, because that gives you a schedule, that gives you a direction. That is the most important thing that you need right now. You want a schedule, you want direction, you want someone to be maybe holding your hand and taking you through the subjects in a proper manner. So you need that, and don't be shy of asking for it. Don't think कि मैं सब खुद कर लूंगा. हाँ, आप कर सकते हो, बहुत लोग करते हैं. But whenever there is any problem, take help. We all are there to help you. We at DocTutorials have come up with this plan to give you that much needed boost and that kick in the last 3 months. So do take the help that is available. No points will be given extra for trying to slog and do it all yourself. Do test series, do QBanks, do the GTs that are in front of you. Take all the possible armamentarium that you have around you. Go through the rapid revision videos, go through the notes, do the MCQs, do the PYQs. That's all is required. And if you believe in yourself, anything is possible. Now, we'll take the questions. Repeaters who have not completed first reading still, how do they plan revision and how do they deal with MCQs from the app? See, if you are repeating, that means you might have studied somewhere at some point in your schedule. So don't worry about it. Jitna abhi tak time waste ho gaya. No time wastage from now. Plan your schedule. Do the first reading in the next 2 months and revise in the last 1 month. When you're repeating, I will say this January 26th attempt is your last attempt. Don't think beyond it. Do everything that you have in you to finish it. So do the rapid revisions, do the PYQs, do the PYTs, and do the GTs. That's all that is required for the ones who are starting now or they have not finished their first reading till now. If you've got 147 in the last attempt, that means you are very good with your theory. Maybe some amount of MCQ practice was lacking in the last attempt. So in the next 90 days that you have, do the revision of the notes that you've already made. Nothing new you should be reading. So revise from the notes that you've already made and do more of MCQs, and you will cross 150 in the next attempt. Yes. Oh, you stuck at 148. Happy. It is the same that I would say for Mohammed Jafar. I would say keep studying, keep doing MCQs. You are on the right track. You are studying. It is just that push of a few more questions that you need. Do as many MCQs as you can. Derma RR, more than enough. Derma RR, I would say, is more than enough. If you have not read dermatology till now, I will not ask you to go through 2 full days of lectures. Just do the 4 to 5 hours of rapid revision. And when I say rapid revision, that rapid revision also has concepts. So it is more than sufficient if you're doing it from the DocTutorials app. Can I directly start QRP videos? I have good knowledge of basics in the subjects. Yes, Rahul, you can do that. Now is not the time to go to regular videos anyway if you are starting afresh. Now is the time that you have to finish rapid revision or QRP videos, do the notes, do the MCQs, and finish the subject. Put a lock on the subject कि मैंने कर लिया है. It is finished. Regular videos का तो मतलब ही नहीं है. Rapid revision videos, and you do it. Essay, you have already given 4 attempts. You are just hovering around 100, 120 now. I would say you need to build on a few concepts. As I mentioned, divide this time into these 2 phases. Study all the subjects once again. Do them properly, and only then you'll be confident when you go in the exam. So there is something that you need to still do in the theory. Along with that, do practice the MCQs. Don't be demotivated. You have studied a lot. It sometimes get difficult to study more. It feels kya fayda? You feel what's the point of studying if I'm still stuck? But at some point, you will get through, and let this January 26 exam be that exam where you clear it. As much theory as you can, build your concepts, do your MCQs, don't get demotivated. Same for you, Deepika. For 147 means the theory part is almost done, but do MCQs, do PYQs, practice as much as you can. I would say, jal jao, bun jao. जितना पढ़ सकते हो पढ़, but पढ़. This should be your last time. You should never have to study again. ये सोच के चलोगे ना तो कर लोगे, सही में कर लोगे. So any other doubts, you can always get back to us on the comments in the DocTutorials app, personally on my Instagram channel as well. We are always there, holding you, with you, till you clear the exam. That is what all the faculty at DocTutorials is always striving for. All the best, dear students.